And now, your CBS 19 Weather Authority forecast from the Bright Star Care Charlottesville Weather Center.
A few clouds here, a few clouds there, a few clouds moving through overnight. Sky is still mostly clear for tonight and tomorrow. Won't be until Thursday or so when we start to see more of a healthy mix of clouds with the sunshine. And even at that, we're going to stay dry until the later part of the week. Sunshine back for Wednesday and an encore one-time only performance. Well, maybe not one time only. I'm sure we'll do this again in the months ahead, but still. Mild weather continuing tomorrow, 74 in Charlottesville, Livingston 73, mid-60s at Wintergreen in the elevations with Arvonia at 75, 74 for Wilderness, Ruckersville, Madison 72, Orange, good evening to you, 75 your high tomorrow, 75 is plenty for Bremo Bluff, Kent Store, Zion Crossroads, Lake Anna, Gum Springs 77, and for our Valley commuters tomorrow, we'll be around 70 degrees in Harrisonburg and Stanton with 71 in Waynesboro. West Augusta, Churchville at 68 degrees and Broadway at 69. And yes, that pollen. Moderate levels continue for the tree pollens tomorrow, but I do expect by Thursday we'll start seeing high levels of tree pollen. And you know they're going to be at least on that scale, high or very high, all the way through the next several months unless we get some cleansing rain every once in a while, which the way this month is going, not all bets are off. 73 in Richmond, Norfolk, and Roanoke tomorrow. D.C. cloudy day at 72, but dry. Warm air. This system to our west will actually ride the periphery of this high pressure system and go to our north. So this doesn't affect us, but this system is what will move in Friday afternoon. I've got some showers in the forecast, maybe a couple rumbles of thunder. Then a dry Saturday, and most will be dry for Sunday and Monday. So with sparse chances for rain the next 7 days, you know what that'll do. The pollen counts, not encouraged per se for widespread soaking, but maybe a little bit more as you go north of Charlottesville with those passing systems. And last but not least, your ever popular temperature spread. Average high this time of year, 58 degrees. You got 78 a pop for Thursday and Friday, upper 60s on Sunday, and then lower 50s. Back to reality, or maybe colder than next Tuesday.
All right, Travis, thank you. Health check now. Around 3 million Americans have glaucoma, and it's one of the leading causes of blindness worldwide. But early detection can help stop this disease from stealing a patient's eyesight.
And today's Health Minute, Manny Gaither has 5 things to know on World Glaucoma Day.
It's a group of eye disorders that damage the optic nerve. Glaucoma can cause vision loss, even blindness.
They call it the thief of sight because it steals your sight without you knowing it.
Ophthalmologist Dr. Steve Schallhorn says the first thing to know, glaucoma typically starts with a loss of peripheral vision. Next, it's a slow progressing disease and some may not even know they have it.
It's painless, so you don't feel anything. The symptoms are, well, almost in late stage where you have a loss of vision. And by that point, again, it's irreversible.
Third, anyone can get glaucoma, but the CDC says certain groups are at higher risk. That includes African Americans over the age of 40, everyone who's 60 and over, people with a family history of glaucoma, and those who have diabetes. Fourth, while there's no cure for glaucoma, if it's caught early, a patient's sight can be preserved.
That's why it's so important to be screened for glaucoma, to have routine eye examinations, especially if you're over the age of 40.
Finally, there are many options for treating glaucoma, including eye drops, oral medications, and surgery.
We can't cure it, but we can slow or halt the progression. The key is awareness. Get in for an eye examination.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The CDC also says that maintaining a healthy weight, controlling blood pressure, being physically active, and not smoking can all help avoid vision loss from glaucoma and to help prevent type 2 diabetes, which is also a risk factor for that disease.
50% of Americans have hypertension, and many of them don't even know it. In hopes of beating what's called the silent killer, Jefferson Madison Regional Library will now be offering blood pressure machines for checkout. This is in partnership with the American Heart Association, funded by the Bama Works Foundation towards a bigger initiative of health equity so that people don't have to be in the dark about their health.
You can come in with your library card and you will get a blood pressure cuff. There's an educational packet, a book about hypertension and high blood pressure. So you can take that home, borrow it for a couple weeks, log your numbers, take it with you to your next doctor's appointment, and have that conversation with your doctor to help you either establish hypertension or monitor and manage it at home.
A few of the branches will also have permanent blood pressure stations, and the librarians will be equipped with information to help navigate what to do if you suspect you have hypertension. Finally, if you're struggling to focus or stay awake at work, blame your spouse.
The eye-opening way your partner might be hurting your job performance. I'm Jerry Willis with the Fox Business Network. More coming up.
Fox Means Business now. You may or may not have your last scroll on TikTok here soon.
Yeah, Fox Business Network's Jerry Willis has a look at this story more in tonight's Fox Means Business Report.
Inflation ticking up again. Consumer prices jumping 3.2% in February from the same time a year ago. That was a bigger increase than expected. Meanwhile, prices rose on a monthly basis, too. They were up 0.4% from January. Stocks rising Tuesday despite the inflation news. In fact, the S&P 500 finished at a record high. The CEO of the video sharing platform Rumble saying his company is willing to buy and operate TikTok if it's divested here in the U.S. The offer comes as Congress debates banning the popular app over potential national security threats if it does not sever ties with its parent company based in China. And finally, if you're struggling to focus or stay awake at work, blame your spouse. That's because more than 4 in 5 people in a relationship tell the company Avocado Green Mattress their partner's sleeping habits consistently wake them up at night. More than a third look forward to nights when their partner isn't home so they can have the bed to themselves. That's business. I'm Jerry Willis.
A new report says that a record number of 401k account holders tapped into their accounts last year. Wall Street Journal report cites data from the Vanguard Group that shows 3.6% of their customers made a withdrawal for financial emergencies. That's up from 2.8% back in 2022. The report says that about 40% of those withdrawals were used to avoid foreclosure. Americans have been turning to their 401k accounts as the cost of car loans, child care, groceries, credit card, utility bills, and you name it, they're all on the rise. They have also seen huge gains in their retirement accounts thanks to a strong stock market.
The CEO of Lyft is pushing back against government involvement in rideshare pricing. David Reicher is responding to the Labor Department's reclassification of gig workers. And as various cities across the country push for a minimum wage for delivery drivers, recently the mayor of Minneapolis vetoed an ordinance that would require rideshare companies pay drivers or a minimum of $5 per ride. But the city council may override that veto, and it could potentially become law on May 1st. Both Uber and Lyft have threatened to leave the city if this happens.
Hollywood Nation now. Disneyland is looking to expand, a move that would bring more attractions to that park.
Fox's Hal Eisner reports.
Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. You probably recognize Chewbacca. This is one of the newer attractions here at Disneyland, built in an area that used to be a backlot because they ran out of space and it was available. This is the first time these kids have been here.
Did you think Disneyland was going to be as big as it is?
No.
And it may get bigger.
The idea here is to not expand the footprint of Disneyland, but to expand the capabilities that they have, give them more flexibility, and to take areas like parking lots that they now have and be able to make them zoned for hotels, restaurants, and theme rides.
What we'd like to do, though, is develop differently. Right now, things are zoned for hotel or for parking. We'd like to make it a more integrated experience because we know that's what our guests are looking for.
What does that mean, integrated experience?
Well, it means that you might have a hotel right next to an attraction, and it really allows us to bring lands that are more immersive.
Like they've done at other parks around the world.
In Hong Kong, the world of Frozen, it would allow us to bring those kind of immersive lands, just like you're looking at here with Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
But first they have to deal with the political world in the land of Anaheim. There's a process, planning, city council approvals, etc. But with a Disney expansion, there's much for the city to gain. Aaron Ryan with the city says a development agreement would include $45 million in street improvements in the Anaheim resort area, $10 million in sewer improvements.
$30 million for affordable housing, for Anaheim to use that money to potentially build 500 affordable apartments in our city. $10 million for sewer improvements.
And from the operators of this park, $8 million would go for improvements at city parks all over Anaheim.
Barbie and Best Picture winner Oppenheimer helped to boost the number of views for the 96th Academy Awards to the highest ratings in 4 years. According to Nielsen data released on Monday, this year's Oscars, hosted for the 4th time by Jimmy Kimmel, had 19.5 million viewers. That's a 4% jump over last year. The strategy by the Academy and ABC to go with an earlier start time this year on the first day of daylight saving time seemed to have worked. More people stayed up and watched until the very end. Plus, the final audience will grow more this week due to the playback of the show.
Interesting. Well, Beyonce has revealed the name of her new album. It's called Cowboy Carter. The R&B star unveiling the name of her country music project on her website Tuesday. It drops March 29th. It's the second act to her 2022 Renaissance album. Last month, she released 2 singles from the album. One of them, Texas Hold'em, became her first #1 country single in the United States. It made her the first black woman to top that list.
Well, rock legend Lenny Kravitz has won numerous awards, including 4 Grammys, and now he adds another accomplishment, a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Now, he was honored with the 2,774th star during a ceremony in Hollywood on Tuesday. It's located right in front of the historic Capitol Records Tower.
Finally, right, his daughter and actress Zoe and Denzel Washington, the actor, was also there. Both spoke at the event. Kravitz's 11 albums have sold 40 million copies worldwide. That number will likely go up in May, which is when he is set to release his new album, Blue Electric Light. The 59-year-old Kravitz is also a nominee for this year's class of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I thought he already had a star.
Yeah. You would think?
I didn't either.
Right.
Learn something new every day.
Right. Like, he should have already had a star on the Walk of Fame.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I think he deserves it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So a lot of stars on there.
Exactly. Only one isn't on the ground. It's Muhammad Ali's because he didn't want anyone walking on it.
Ooh, fun fact.
Exactly. Mid to upper 70s for the rest of the week. Showers Friday, and then mainly dry after that. Temperatures getting cooler. I'm full of all kinds of useless stuff.
It's not useless. That is good information.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali didn't want anyone walking on him, so he's like, no, put it on the side of the wall. Theater, he did.
I like it. All right, Travis, thank you for that fun fact. And thank you all so much for watching your Fox Virginia News at 10. Have a good night.